The Shanghai Dragons have propelled themselves this season from one of the worst to one of the toughest teams in the league. The Atlanta Reign began to struggle after Stage 1, but their Stage 3 performance has caught the eyes of many. After two tough and tight losses for the Reign, they knew what they wanted and they brought their best in this matchup. For as much as Oasis caught people off guard, it really made sense. Dustin Dogman Bowerman once again made his name known throughout the league in the first two rounds of Oasis with his aggressive support play. Picking Moira to start began as a 200 IQ play, as the Dragons were flustered in finding the solution. Round 2 started hot with Minsong DM Bay rolling off on Tracer in the first two fights. The rest of the round though belonged to Hyunjun Pokpo Park, especially when Atlanta switched to a Winston Goats composition. Atlanta won Oasis on a final score of 2-0. If your purpose in watching this matchup was to gain as many Overwatch League tokens as possible, this match did you justice. 4 straight attacks were fully completed on Volskaya, and it looked like neither team wanted to play defense. One player to note that popped off in the first several rounds was Seonghyung Luffy Yang, where his Discord orb was constantly placed in perfect spots. This gave the Dragons just enough time to make their moves, but their final attack couldn't go that distance. The Dragons' only hope was one last defensive stand. In what will arguably be the biggest brain IQ play of the night, Shanghai switched the composition of a Pharmacy single tank lineup. With all the open space on point A, Jinhyuk Ding Yang rained rocket after rocket, building up the ultimate percentage at an alarming rate. Unleashing a barrage in the first fight, the double elimination set up the rest of the Dragons for one final stand. In an attempt to save his teammate, Luffy actually nano-boosted Ding to not only splash 2 eliminations, but also garnered Youngjin Gamzu no 2 of his own. In the final ticks counting down, Shanghai made their move to stay in the fight and tie up the series 1-1, after a final score on Volskaya of 5-4. Another map in the books, Numbani looked like a map that also took an eternity. This set of rounds featured Ding working D.Va, something that was played last week against the Valiant. Shanghai seemed to be on a tear, carrying their momentum past Volskaya. In their first attack round for the first 4 fights, the Dragons took 11 kills that spread to 45 eliminations across the team. The Reign turned their focus towards Gamsoon soon after in their first attack round, and it was more than effective. Petja Masa Kentanen utilized his boop to the fullest extent on Lucio, constantly pushing the Dragon's main tank out of position. This led to plenty of pressure on Donghyung Dako Seo bombs and Minsong Deem Bay misplaced Graviton surges. Shanghai was not able to maintain their aggression, and the passive play at the end resulted in a heartbreaking C9, as Numbani ended with a final score of Atlanta 5, Shanghai 4. Although this match was unique already, the Dragons saved themselves with an incredible defense on Havana. Masa elevated his game to new heights during Shanghai's attack, his sound barriers coming in clutch to change the tide of several fights. Ding struggled once again to find his placement on the field as Sombra, and it really hurt the Dragons for a while. Their attack only mustered a little past point B, but they weren't down for the count. Pokpo annihilated the Dragons to start on Atlanta's attack as they capped point A with 4 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock. Deem created space for Shanghai as they inched closer to point B, popping off with several kills. Ding finally found his rhythm with an EMP that set up 2 eliminations for Diem. In the final fight, it seemed fitting that Luffy would absolutely pop off, picking Reign members and shooting his Discord orb left to right. Havana ended on a final score of Shanghai 2, Atlanta 1. After Oasis's shenanigans earlier in the series, it was unclear how Shanghai was going to open map 5 on Nepal. Round 1 started back and forth, neither team giving too much ground for their opponent. In a final EMP of the round, Ding melted Pokpo in the madness, rolling the Reign to scramble away just enough to stagger back to spawn. With one more round to go, a roaring crowd wanted a close match. In round 2, Atlanta rolled out on a Mei Orisa Hog composition, more than prepared for Shanghai's DPS playstyle. It was at this point when the Shanghai Dragons actually ran a true GOATS composition. The first fight hold was stellar. Even with Ding being booped off the edge early as D.Va, the Dragons held strong on the point despite being a man down. Kwangmoon Koma Son needed a highlight of his own in this match, booping off Dako after Dako hooked him on Roadhog. Saving the entire fight based off of just that play alone, the continuous healing led the Dragons to outlast the Reign on a final score of 2-0 on Nepal. This series was a match so close that it was actually anticipated. The Reign needed a win to keep playoff hopes alive and played 2 stellar matches against top teams in Week 1. The Dragons had won 5 of their last 6 regular season matches and needed a win to keep their Stage 3 playoff top 4 seed hopes alive. Although they didn't show their usual level of dominance with Sombra, this one will carry much farther than Thursday's match. As one of the second toughest teams on this stage schedule for Shanghai, the Dragons could be as confident as ever after a final score victory against the Atlanta Reign, 3-2.
If you want more great Overwatch League content, make sure to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and that bell icon. Now, from our house to yours, thanks for watching.